Everyone, and welcome to my channel, The Best Loser. Now we've had 2 days of trading. It is time for me to do the midweek forex forecast. This is going to be quite will I say a quicker version of the will I say the weekly forex forecast, okay, where we come back to see how the markets has moved since the week opened. Okay, all right, so without any further delays, guys, let's start by taking a look at the economical calendar. As you guys know well, tomorrow is loaded with, matter of fact, the whole of this week is loaded with a lot of heavy hitting news, like the type of news that can lead to a change in trend. Okay, as you can see here, well, we have by 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Right now it's about 4:56 p.m. The markets will be closing in 4 minutes time for today. So yeah, in a few hours time, we have the CPI data coming from the Australian axis, okay, and that can definitely impact the Aussie pairs, okay, and even possibly the New Zealand pairs as well. All right. Now, when we get into tomorrow, well, 9:45 a.m. we have the interest rate decision coming out from Canada. All right, and later around 10:30 we have the press conference from the Bank of Canada. And then the big one that everybody is obviously waiting for is the 2:00 p.m. Okay, we have the federal funds rate. Okay, and please do pay attention. You see that we are expecting rate cuts. Okay, by 25 basis points, both from the United States axis and the Canadian axis as well. All right, and then later in the day, obviously there's no time for that. We do also have the Bank of Japan policy rates coming out as well. Okay. So yes, it's definitely loaded in terms of fundamentals. All right, so that's something you have to keep an eye on. Make sure you keep your risk managed. Okay, very, very important. All right, now on Thursday we still have the main refinancing rates, okay, coming from the European axis. Okay, we have the ECB press conference, okay, the European Central Bank. So yes, it's basically the week of interest rates. And then finally on Friday, 8:30 a.m. we do have the GDP data coming from the Canadian axis. So yes, the calendar is loaded. All right, so having this in mind, let's now take a look at the charts and see how the markets has performed. Today I'm going to kick off things with Dixie. All right, so just wanted to show you guys something, okay, because of the type of fundamentals that we have for this particular week. I just want to point out pretty much the technical analysis in the pretty long time frame for Dixie. All right, so the dollar index, as you can see here, is moving in a very beautiful channel in the 3 months chart. As you can see right now, you can see I've plotted out that chart. And we do have the trend line. You can see we have 1, 2, and this is the third bounce, okay, from that trend line. And we also do have this counter trend line sitting here, both of them pretty much coming together right around where price is at the moment. So I really, from a technical perspective, I'm seeing the dollar index giving us a nice push to the upside, okay. And on weeks like this is when you can expect that type of will I say that type of trend to start, because again there is a lot of interest rate decisions across the board. Okay, all right, but again, don't take my word for it. Like I said, I prefer longs in the dollar index. However, if the news comes out worse than expected, it's very easy for you to see the markets break this trend as well. But from a technical perspective, areas where trend lines and counter trend lines come together are usually very, very high quality, in my own opinion. Okay, so from here, if I had to take a guess, I would prefer to see this market give us a nice push to the upside, at least in the dollar index. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we do this analysis. And now going into euro dollar, it's almost like a mirror opposite, okay, of the dollar index. And as you can see, in the case of euro dollar, in the 3 months time frame as well, we do have the this nice supply zone here that led to the break of this level of structure, and price has given us a pullback into that supply zone. And now we are seeing a few bearish candles in the printing, right? And we are going into the interest rate decision tomorrow. So again, from a technical perspective, it's more likely, all right, from a technical perspective, okay, that I would prefer to see this thing give us a nice push to the downsides from here. All right, that is what I would prefer, not what the market must do. Please, I really want to stress that. Okay, now coming into their daily, okay, this market has pretty much been prepping from a technical perspective. After the markets, after the markets topped out right here around 119.25, all right, the market has pretty much been printing lower highs and lower lows, all right, taking off demand zones that were formed on the way to the upside. As you can see here, we have this demand zone here. Markets came here, took a little breather, and then we took that out, forming obviously this supply zone that I have mapped out. And then a few days later, the markets gave us a nice push to the upside into that supply zone, and you can see that the bears again came in momentum. The past few days, let's say about 5-6 days, has been a ranging market, which is probably in anticipation of the interest rate data that we have coming out later tomorrow. Okay, but what I want to show you now is that price has dipped into that supply zone, pulled out, all right, and you can see that earlier today, all right, we got this very nice retest of pretty much, like all this, a trend line at this point, and you can see that it is holding at this point. The bears came in again, and the new day has just opened right here. Okay, so like I said, it is looking more bearish technically than bullish. Okay, just have that in mind as you make your trading decisions going into tomorrow. Okay, all right, so that's it for euro dollar. Not much. I really like it for the bears. If this news comes out tomorrow and favors a bearish movement, chances are we are really gonna see a very heavy drop in euro dollar. Okay, now that being said, it's also possible that the news comes out, all right, and it gets a spike to the upside, okay, just to clear liquidity above this trend line, if possible, even maybe clear liquidity above this supply zone and quickly get dropped in momentum again back to the downside. All right, this move might just be to grab liquidity. All right, if this news comes out, I wouldn't be interested in buying. I am only interested in selling. So if it does come out and we start pushing to the upside, upon the first signal of selling, I'm going to start looking for an opportunity to go short in euro dollar. Okay, but if it comes out and from here, it starts to sell, then good luck trying to get into that market. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it for euro dollar. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this thing very quick. GU, not much. Again, you can see, as we anticipated, I told you guys that from the longer time frame, we are sitting inside a supply zone, and the market has pretty much been pushing to the downside. You see, we anticipated that when the market opens, we're going to get a push to the upside, which we got, and now the bears have started coming in momentum as anticipated as well. So yes, this is looking textbook in my own opinion. I don't know if price is going to find a way to get back into this supply zone area that we have here. If it does happen from here, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to go short for continuations to the downside. If that doesn't happen and the market just continues to push to the downside, this becomes my new supply zone. And if the market comes in, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to go short as well. All right. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. All right. So that's pretty much it for British pounds and US dollar. All right, so next up is going to be Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, this one is looking textbook as well. In my own opinion, let's see what's going on. Remember, over the weekend, I told you guys we do have a flag formation right here brewing in the weekly time frame. So I have taken my time now to kind of plot out what that flag formation looks like. And as you can see here, in my own opinion, I told you guys that I'm going to be disregarding this candle that we have here. And if we do that, then this was the breakout candle, okay? Now we've gotten price to pull back to retest, okay? And then from here, we do anticipate a massive continuation to the downside, okay? Like I said, again, this is in line with what we're expecting in euro dollar and British pounds and US dollar. So this is adding up properly, to be completely honest. But do remember that later today, in the next few hours, we do have CPI data coming out from the Australian axis, and later tomorrow we do have the interest rates that will also impact the US dollar. All right, and this pair, if both news come out very well, chances are we might actually put in some significant moves to the downside. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it for Australian dollar. Let me see if we go into, actually, let's take a look. If we take a look here, if you guys remember, I told you that what I would like to see when the market opens is for a nice push to the upside into the supply zone area, and then from anywhere right around here, I would like to see the markets begin to turn around. So this is looking nice, in my own opinion, for short. But remember, we do have heavy fundamentals. All right, next up, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This one is looking textbook, in my own opinion, pretty much playing out to perfection. We do have a falling channel, all right? In my own opinion, this is the channel that this market is trading in. If you pay attention, this is pretty much I'm discounting that particular price action that happened there, because again, we do have 1, 2, 3 bounces. Even we have another bounce here, 4 and then 5, and right now price is retesting that trend line as well. And then obviously this is the return line of the channel. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on that. In my opinion, that is the channel that the that New Zealand dollar is moving in. Okay, all right, so if that's the case, then if pay attention, if you remember in the weekend Forex forecast, I told you guys that I'm keeping an eye on this supply zone, that I would like to see the markets give me a little rotation to the upside, probably grab some liquidity from above this trend line into the supply zone, and from there I would like to see the BS begin to come into this market. That seems to be what the market is doing at this point, and I am loving it. And again, at least this pair, only the dollar is the impact here, and again we are anticipating it to push to the downside. Chances are that we are going to have a situation whereby both technicals and fundamentals align in these markets, and that means we might be in for some nice, for the beginning of a new heavy trend to the downside in this dollar price. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it for New Zealand dollar. Next up is going to be US dollar, Swiss francs. I don't have anything here, no need to waste your time. Next up is going to be US dollar, Canadian dollar. Well, this one again is looking textbook in my own opinion. If you guys remember, again, this is a key level on our charts. We broke, all right, we broke this particular area of resistance on our charts, and the market has now pulled back, okay, into that demand zone area that we have right here. Okay, again, what I'm looking for here is for this market to give me some form of reversal pattern going into the news tomorrow, and if that happens, I will like to see this thing give me a nice push to the upside. Okay, again, in line with the technicals as well. Okay, so let's see how the fundamentals come out tomorrow. Who knows? Next up is the US dollar, Japanese yen. Leave this one for now. There's not much happening. Again, just going by what I'm seeing in other pairs, we have a double top formation here, and chances are that we might have the US dollar, Japanese yen give us a nice push to the upside, breaking that high. That's pretty much it. Nothing much in terms of price action. British pound, Japanese yen, I don't have much in there, so I'm not even gonna waste your time. Euro yen is one that I'm liking. Actually, I have a trade open right now in this one. Okay, if you guys remember from the weekend Forex forecast, I told you guys that I'm keeping an eye on this demand zone. Markets came into this demand zone, as you can see here, and well, the bulls have come in this particular chart, and well, let's see. I'm long, I'm shooting for this previous swing high area. Let's see how it's gonna go. But again, this is just a trade that I have taken. You don't have to take it. I'm just saying, I'm in this trade right now. Let's see how it goes. Okay, the reason why I took this trade obviously is because, well, the next Euro news is coming on Thursday, and the yen news is coming later tomorrow. So this being the 4 hours charts, hopefully I'm going to be, if this trade is going to work out, is going to get to my profit targets before we get to those financial releases. Okay. All right, so that's it for Euro yen. Next up is going to be Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Not much here. Price just pulled back into this demand zone area that we have here, and you can see that the bulls have come into these markets. All right, next up, British pounds, Australian dollar. Now this one, well, kind of surprised me a little bit. You can see I was keeping an eye. I think what I wanted to see was for price to give me a push to the upside. In this particular case, I wanted to see something like this before this drop. Okay, but you can see the market's opened even with a gap, and since then we have just been shooting to the downside, taking off this supply zone, this demand zone that we had in this area. Okay, again, we have news coming out. This can happen, and you can see this shoot back to the upside today. Okay, so but again, nothing in as far as price action for me in this particular pair. Next up is Euro pounds. Euro pounds obviously behaving as anticipated, as you can see here. Obviously, we were keeping an eye on this area for price to give us a nice push to the upside. That has already happened, and right now, well, who knows? We might get a push down into this area, which, to be completely honest, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Maybe markets might give us a push into this area. We do have some form of demand zone in here. I can already see it in a smaller time frame, and the markets can continue pushing to the upside. That is what I think is going to happen in Euro pounds. Okay, all right. Next up is going to be what's this? Euro Australian dollar. I don't have anything in here. No need to waste your time. Next up is gold. Gold, I'm keeping a very close eye on this one as well. Gold has tapped into this particular demand zone that we have here. We are keeping an eye on this one. That one failed. As you can see, price tapped into this other demand zone that we have in here. I'm keeping a very close eye on gold. In my own opinion, it's still pointing to the upside, and I would like to see this thing give me another push to the upside. Okay. All right. Let me see. Next up is silver. Silver is very similar to gold in my own opinion. As you can see, obviously this one is actually looking like it's about to take off now. So let's see. Not much here. I prefer to take gold over silver, but let's see how it's going to go, okay? Also, I'm expecting this one to give me a nice push to the upside as well. Now, for Bitcoin, let me see. That's the last one, but not the least, obviously. For Bitcoin, I'm keeping a very close eye on this one. I am expecting this to be a bullish market. As you can see here, we have this demand zone, okay? We've taken out this previous level of our resistance that's on our charts, okay? So what I would like to see here now is for this to give me a push into this demand zone area. You can see I have my alert sitting around 112,000. Okay, so if price gets into 112,000, I would like to see this thing give me another push to the upside. All right, so that's it for this particular week's midweek forex forecast. Because of where prices are at the moment, I think it's actually going to be beneficial to send this video out as soon as I'm done editing it, because usually I would have waited till midnight, but prices are at a very key level right now, so I think it's going to be more beneficial to send out this video right now. So what I would do for this particular week, I'm going to send out this midweek forex forecast early, just in case it's going to help you make your own trading decisions. Again, none of this is financial advice, but you can see that I have analyzed, and in my own opinion, we are set for some nice moves tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Cheers, and see you in the next week's weekend forex forecast. Cheers.